Hello everyone! In this video we will be finding every Easter egg and reference in Legend of Vox Machina, the Critical Role animated series, episodes 1 through 3. I've been watching Critical Role since the beginning, so I thought I'd put that knowledge to good use and try to find as many Easter eggs and references as possible. Obviously, this video is going to contain spoilers for Legends of Vox Machina episodes 1 through 3, as well as Critical Role Campaign 1, and even some moments of Campaign 2. There are bound to be some Easter eggs or references I miss, so be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Let's get into it. Episode 1 begins with the voice of Matt Mercer as the narrator, an obvious reference to Matt being the dungeon master and creator of the world of Tal'Dorei. As we pan away from Iman, a bird comes flying across the camera. This bird appears to be a raven, an important symbol in Critical Role. A raven is the symbol of the goddess of death, the Raven Queen, a goddess that is interlinked with Vax throughout the Campaign 1. In the shot of the Council of Tal'Dorei, we see Seeker Assume, a halfling ranger who acts as the Master of Secrets for Uriel and is an important player in the Briarwood arc. Sir Fence makes a reference to a mercenary group called the Murder Hobos, a reference to a classic D&D trope where players explore the world as murderous hobos. The music that plays over the fight in the tavern scene is Your Turn to Roll, the intro song for Critical Role. Percy's gun will often misfire and even break in the campaign when he rolls low enough, as demonstrated by its misfiring in the show. Vex was the money holder for Campaign 1 and was known for being quite thrifty, something that the group would often tease her player character, Laura Bailey, about. When Vox Machina presents themselves before the council, we overhear a conversation referencing Percy's past and foreshadowing future events with the Briarwoods. When on the airship, Vex and Vax are whispering to one another, Scanlan says, "Why are you whispering? We can all hear you," a likely reference to players attempting to whisper one another at the D&D table. Keyleth, when visiting the Shale Steps, asks a tree if it had seen any scary monsters around. Keyleth in Campaign 1 would constantly use her druidic powers to communicate with plants, making for some hilarious interactions. Vax gives the young boy a silver coin, which he says will aid against monsters, a reference to silver being used in D&D to harm many evil creatures. As they are hunting the creature, Vax and Keyleth share a cute little moment foreshadowing their future love relationship. Long-term fans of Critical Role would know that General Krieg is actually Brimscythe, the blue dragon, but there are a number of scenes throughout episodes 1 and 2 where this is hinted at. First, Krieg gives Sir Fence a face when he suggests that they should capture the beast. Second, Vex senses him with her Primeval Awareness Ranger ability in the throne room, but the group do not know yet that the dragons can take forms of humans. Krieg, in an inspiring speech to his troops, says, "We don't need to know the enemy, we only need to know ourselves," ironic because he himself is the dragon. Moments later, Krieg makes mention to a storm blowing through tonight, foreshadowing his attack in dragon form. Krieg later, when seeing Vox Machina, says, "I can't believe you all made it out alive." Seeing as he was the dragon who left them for dead, that checks out. In their first fight with the dragon, the group uses a number of abilities from the game D&D. Vex's magical arrow here is likely to spell Conjure Barrage, while Scanlan's appears to be Bigby's hand. Pike's Conjured Shield is likely the ability Shield of Faith, and we see Vax throws 3 daggers into the stomach, a reference to the player character Liam O'Brien saying dagger, dagger, dagger for his 3 attacks. Most of the attacks, abilities, and spells throughout the show are straight up D&D abilities, but oftentimes it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly which ones they are. During the battle, Keyleth is terrified and fails to act. It's possible this is a reference to the D&D mechanic of Frighten that occurs with dragons, but it's also on brand for Keyleth's character, so it's really hard to tell which one it would be. When Keyleth uses her ability Call Lightning, she does a hand gesture here, which her player character Marisha would do every time she casts the spell. I love little things like this. Pike's inability to heal the young boy was caused from her, in a D&D mechanic sense, running out of spell slots. We get a Pike and Scanlan love reference, as throughout the story of Campaign 1, Scanlan would always be looking to woo and pursue Pike. When discovering the destroyed village, Pike says it wiped them out, all of them. I can't help but feel this is a reference to Star Wars and Darth Sidious. Alora, when questioned about dragons, makes a reference to Thordak, the Great Red Dragon, which fans of Campaign 1 would know all about. Vax and Pike go off to Gilmore's for information on dragons. Here we are treated to a variety of references. First, the red weasel that sits on Gilmore's shelf is most likely a reference to the weasel sprinkle that Laura's character Jester owned in Campaign 2. When walking through the shop, Pike sees a copy of a book labeled Tuskglove, another reference to Campaign 2. Tuskglove is a smutty book that Laura's character Jester purchased and would constantly read. In the same scene, we see the skull of a Triceratops, possibly a reference to Scanlan in Campaign 1, who polymorphed himself in an epic moment into a Triceratops. Under it, a flying broom, which is most likely a reference to Vex's flying broom, which she would steal later on in the campaign. Upon reaching Krieg's mansion, the group struggled to open the locked door, a classic reference to Vox Machina's constant struggle with their mortal enemies, locked doors. Keyleth in the Dragon's Lair touches a rock containing 4 stones. One of the stones opens, revealing a bright green eye. This is most likely the green dragon Riegal, a reference to the Chroma Conclave and an evil alliance of dragons Vox Machina would later face in Campaign 1. Grog in the fight against the dragon uses his barbarian ability to rage. In the campaign, whenever he would use this ability, the player Travis would often say, "I would like to rage," making it the catchphrase for all barbarians in Critical Role. At the end of episode 2, we are introduced to Lord and Lady Briarwood, arch nemesis of Percy de Rolo. Lord Briarwood, a vampire, and his sorceress wife, claimed Percy's land of Whitestone by killing his family. We see that Percy's hair wasn't always white. Seems like Taliesin may have been watching too much Tokyo Ghoul at the time. Here's the first scene of Percy's gas mask, one of his tinkering creations and a symbol of his inner demons. Percy, after waking from his nightmares created by Vex, a foreshadow to their eventual relationship with one another. Grog at breakfast punches Vax in the balls. Throughout Campaign 1, Grog and Vax would have constant prank wars with one another, often ending with each other hitting each other in the balls. The guard that checks the group's weapons in at the beginning of the party is based on and voiced by Matt Mercer. Within the party, Grog tells the group to use the safe word Jenga whenever someone is in trouble. This word would stick for the rest of Campaign 1, becoming quite the symbol. Vax, when searching the Briarwood's room, comes across a small book, in it referencing the name the Whispered One, foreshadowing events to come in the big bad evil guy Vecna. Silas uses some sort of charm person spell or ability on Vax, but like in D&D rules, the charm is broken upon taking damage, hence why it fades when he bites him. Silas's sword Craven Edge is infamous to Critical Role fans. It has the ability to absorb the blood of its foes, growing stronger as it does. Grog later in the series would come to possess this blade, making for dramatic events. Pike's symbol of Sarenrae cracks, a reference to it cracking in Campaign 1, but under different circumstances. At the end of Episode 3, we get our first look at Percy's warlock powers, as smoke emanates from him caused by the shadow demon he has made a pact of vengeance with. And that's it, that's all the references and Easter eggs I could find in Episodes 1 to 3 of Legends of Vox Machina. Let me know in the comments below what did I miss. I know I couldn't find them all, but I think I did a pretty good job, especially with the stuff in Gilmore's. Expect more references and Easter egg videos as more episodes of the show are released. Go check out our individual episode breakdowns and other anime content on the channel. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. As well, go check out our reaction channel in the description down below where I've posted live reactions to the Legends of Vox Machina. Thank you all for watching my video. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace, love. Adu.